Welcome to Notable Approvals. I'm attorney Amanda Shaffer. Before I get to our exciting case for today, just want to remind everybody that tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, we will be debuting our new live series called Lawyers Without Filters. Our first episode will be on image. I will be joined by 6 other attorneys and our special guest, Clementine Deseu, who is a model and founder of the All Women Project. So we invite everyone watching today to join us tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. It'll be a good time. But let's get to our case today, which is about a client who is a native and citizen of Australia. This client first came to the U.S. with a B1 visa. He had been traveling back and forth for years because he has businesses all over the world. But he came to us because he wanted to open a business in the U.S. And fortunately, Australia is a treaty country. And what that means is that there's a list. If you go to travel.state.gov or Google, treaty country visa, you'll see that there's a big list of countries that if you're a citizen from one of those countries, if you want to invest money in the U.S., you can get a visa. Now, this isn't what some people know as $1 million visa or an EB-5. That is what people file to get a green card. It is different. An E-2 is considered a non-immigrant visa, meaning it's not permanent. You can renew it every 2 years, and there's no limit on your renewals, and you can change status to a permanent status, but the E-2 itself will not give you a green card. Nonetheless, it is an attractive option because whereas the $1 million green card, that $1 million green card, which now is at like $1.25 million. I think they raised the minimum investment, and $7,500 in underserved areas. There's no bottom limit for E2 visas. It's going to depend on the business. Your investment, first and foremost, has to be in a bona fide enterprise or in a real enterprise. And that can be tricky if you're not in the U.S. to set things up. Now, our client, like I said, was here on a B1 visa. He was perfectly allowed to set up a business and apply for the E2 change status. And that's what he did. So he went around, he got a commercial space. I don't think I mentioned what he did yet, or the type of business. It's a high-end luxury shoe brand for men and women. So he's a designer, and the plan is he designs the shoes, an outside manufacturer manufactures the shoes. And then he sells them direct to consumer and hopes to open up retail stores. So he had to get a commercial space to kind of set up shop. And we had to submit proof of all this. We had to register with the state. That's an easy thing to do. The space he rented needed to be renovated, so that took some time. He did things like purchase a domain name for a website that's going to be set up, and then getting other licenses and certificates. The next thing you have to show is that the business is not marginal. And what this means is that the profit that the business is able to generate, hi Med, thanks for watching, the profit the business is able to generate has to be more than just able to support the beneficiary. It has to be enough profit where you're going to be able to bring in more employees that are permanent residents or citizens, and that the company's going to grow. So you do this in various different ways. One way is business plan. Another way, you show line and block organizational chart. Business plans are a pretty big way to show it. Then you have to show that the money that you're submitting is we got phone calls all over the place. The business that you're investing in, that your funds are substantial. So it's enough money to start a business that you're saying you're starting and irrevocably committed to the investment, meaning the money has to be on the line. You can't say, oh, I have this account. I have $100,000 in this account. I'm going to start a business in the U.S. Give me my visa now. No, you have to actually take that $100,000 and start spending it in the U.S. to open your business. So and like I said earlier, the amount that you have to invest is going to depend on what makes sense for your business. If my client, for example, was going to be manufacturing shoes, the investment that he had to design shoes wouldn't be sufficient because manufacturing machines are really expensive. And if part of his plan was he wasn't going to be doing the delivery, so like so you need a delivery van, for example. So you have to look at all aspects of the business, and that's why these E2s can be fun to do, because we get to learn about all different industries. So you have to so going along the line of how much of the investment there is, and showing the investments that you're putting the money on the line. It could be a personal loan that you're getting, but it has to be you're personally liable, not another business. You also have to, really important, trace the money. This is the source of capital element in an E2 visa. And this is similar in EB5s too. And really any type of company opening in the US wants to make sure that the money you are investing in this country comes from legal means. So that could be your salary that you saved up, that could be sale of assets, it could be a gift, it could be a loan, but you have to show them, like if you transfer money from one bank account to another, you have to show all of them. So it can get tricky when people don't have separate business accounts and personal accounts. And it is highly advised you talk to an attorney before you start taking the steps to open the business, so you know what you have to do and that you make your life a lot easier. And then you also have to show that the person filing, or not the person, the beneficiary, so who the company is filing for. So it's a company is the petitioner, and the beneficiary has to be from the treaty country. And you have to show that that person is going to has a capacity to direct and develop. So it might be their educational requirements. Like if you're going to open like an architecture company, you need to be licensed to do architecture in the US, for example. So you have to show that, because you're not just making an investment and it's hands off like some other visas may allow. You're making an investment and you're right in there handling things on a day-to-day basis as an executive, a manager, whatever it is, but you have to be in control. So when our client came to us, we had a limited time to submit the evidence because he wasn't planning to leave the country, and this actually was right before Corona, so it was a good thing that he decided to do it this way, which meant that we only had the 6 months. So a lot of the evidence we needed, we didn't necessarily have. So what we did when we submitted the initial application, we submitted whatever we did have. We did premium processing, so it would be decided quickly within 2 weeks. And we explained, okay, here's the application for the New York State sales certificate, sales tax certificate. Here's the application for the name or doing business as certificate. And then we did get a request for evidence, which isn't surprising with E2s, because like I said, every business is a little different. So, and everybody's investment comes from different places, and it's all about documenting it clearly to USCIS. So when they sent us the RFE, we had a lot more of the evidence available at the time, because even a few weeks can make a difference. We had balance sheets to show the client was getting the loan already, using it to renovate. We had more commercial rent payments. We had that sales tax certificate. And there's a great thing on the New York State, or I think it's the state website, where there's like this Business Express checklist. I'm sure other states have something similar, but basically it asks you a bunch of questions about your business, and you or your client can go in there and say, okay, I'm doing retail, I have a storefront, I have employees, and it will tell you, okay, if this is what your business is, then these are the requirements. These are the licenses and certifications that you need. So it makes things pretty simple in that way. So we made sure to help him get all of that. We got him a CPA to certify his balance sheets, and we submitted further proof of the way the company's run. We did liability insurance. That's very important. We also had some contracts for future orders already. And then we showed some of the ads and the marketing that was started. And after we submitted the reply to the RFE, a few days later, it was approved. My client, I know, unfortunately started the business at not an ideal time thanks to the coronavirus, but as far as I heard last, he's still going strong and hoping to be able to get this business really off the ground. And he'll have this E2 visa for 2 years. If he has to leave the US, he can, but he's going to have to stop at the consular abroad and get his visa there before coming back to the US, since he changed status. He didn't go abroad and get a visa and come back. Not a big deal. And yeah, so we're really excited for him. I'm waiting for my high-end luxury shoes to come in the mail. They're really sweet, like loafer-looking shoes, look really comfortable. So we can't wait for that. So that is all today for notable approvals. Remember, tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, live on Facebook, myself and I'll be collaborating with my fellow attorneys and my special guest, Clementine Deseu, to have a honest discussion on image. And the new series is called Lawyers Without Filters. Set your reminders, like us, follow us on Facebook and Instagram and wherever else we are so you don't miss out. We hope to see you there. Have a great day.